So we've talked about duplicating yourself as one of the most successful, or one of the best ways to be successful in business.
That's right.
Is to duplicate your efforts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. Like you're running a detail shop at a high-end exotic car dealership, but you also have your own mobile detailing company, and it's out there working for you while you're doing something else,
Correct.
which is cool.
Yeah, you got multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And another great person told me about that too. What he told me was like, hey, you want to make sure that you work, because I remember the story that you told me about, almost at a predicament to where things were, have not always been that great. But there were times where it felt like we're going to run down and actually have to get to a point where, am I going to go bankrupt trying to pay my employees, or do I have to get out there myself to do some things? And I had to make certain decisions to say, okay, well, I still have not paid myself a paycheck from my company, and we've been in business since 2013. So times that I would pay myself, I actually reinvest that money back into the business. But my accountant told me, they said, yeah, you're going to have to write yourself a check soon, because you can't just keep doing that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was just like, well.
Your business is growing. Eventually, they're going to say, hey, listen, it's time for you to pay the piper.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to take owner's distribution, give the government some, and every once in a while, they'll come calling.
Yeah, and I was just like, all right, well, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. But, the reason why I've done that is to take care of my guys, is to let them know I care about them.
Right. Yeah.
Because I really believed in, if I take care of my team,
Right.
they will take care of me.
100%.
And that's why I decided 5 months ago, that when they offered me the job at the Ferrari dealership, they said, well, our guy's going to be leaving here. He's been here 16 years. He's at that point. We want you to take over. We hear you always had a full-time job. And I was like, well, yeah. But then they was like, well, we won't make you sign a non-compete. I said, all right, now you're talking.
There you go.
And I said, well, we'll pay you this. And if you, when you do our ceramic coatings, because I've worked with them as a contractor for 4 years.
Right.
And they said, well, we'll still let you bill us for your company when you do this, because we don't want to have an employee listed as doing this work. And then that way, it works out.
Yeah.
So they made it competitive, and I said, okay, fine. So told Spectrum, I said, hey, I'll holler at you guys later.
Hey. I appreciate everything, guys.
Yeah, because ironically, I actually had it was 2 opportunities I had. It was there, and then North Carolina State Troopers. So I was at that point to where they was like, all right, well, here's your acceptance letter. Do you accept or you decline?
Right.
So I declined it.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't want to do it.
You just had to go where the best opportunities at.
Yeah, because
Well, and then I think this is more in line with your passions as well.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't want
because
to settle for
to
something.
try to have someone pulled over and then have to look at your phone because one of your texts is calling you, customers calling you, and I'd be like, hey, hold on a minute. I'm still going to write you this ticket, but I got to run in my car and take this call right quick. Or one of those situations where you're like, hey, man, this is a nice car. I detail your car, don't I? Yeah, but I got to give you this ticket, though.
Hey,
so
Lamont, you going to write me a ticket?
They
You
were
just detailed this car, man.
Yeah, I know. I was like, hey, man, it was clean. I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Looks nice. Looks good.
Yeah,
man.
because that was one of the questions that they asked me about. It was like, because they said that because they're getting so needing people that they wasn't allowing, once you went to trooper school, to be in your area. And they said that, they make everyone not go for a certain amount of time because they have to get used to their job, and then they'll be able to notice. And they was like, you might go to a point where you see someone or one of your clients. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's a little bit of a conflict.
yeah. So
Makes it
I
hard,
was
yeah.
just like,
Plus, you don't want to limit yourself to a job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah.
you don't, or at least something that would make your business, it would compromise your company.
I think you at Ferrari, for me, from what I know about you, is a much better
Oh
fit.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
And you're in your element.
And that was the other thing, because
And you can keep growing your business outside of that.
That's right.
You can keep adding new vans to your fleet.
correct, because we're almost at that point. Just like we got calls from Amazon right before this situation happened. They were like, yeah, we want you to come out and start taking care of our things. And then this happened, and they was like, okay, well, we got to hold off for now.
Right.
So hopefully in a few weeks.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, cool. But yeah, it's the passion part. I mean, that was the biggest thing, because these other jobs I've had, I go to work and I'm like, man, when can I get off? When am I going to leave?
Right.
But then being up there, it's like, oh yeah, I don't feel like I'm at work.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I've noticed over the last 4 months. I have not felt like I'm at work.
100%.
We're doing something you love to do and you're around
Exactly.
stuff you love.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially when they say, hey, we got to go get gas in this. Okay, I'll take that key.
Yeah.
And then the next thing they know, they hear, I'm like, they was like, did you have to take the long way? I just had to test it out.
Yeah. Had to see what this thing would do.
Yeah.
You had to get it dirty before you clean it. You know, you got to.
Yeah.
You didn't want to bill them for a service they didn't need.
Nah, they was like, yo, this car is dirty. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get that taken care of. They were like, yeah, who got it dirty? I don't know. I just walked past and I saw
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a little dirt on
It's
it.
dirty.
Yeah,
It's
you
dirty.
can't have this in the showroom.
Well, I was over at and looking at some Ferraris, and you know, I don't. When this is not the Ferrari plug, but for everybody out there, if you're a bigger guy, tall, not just obese, right? I got a little bit too much. I'm working on it.
Okay.
But if you're a bigger guy, Ferrari is much more comfortable than Lamborghini as far as size. Their cars, and I hear Ferrari's coming out with an SUV because you know the Lamborghini's got the Urus,
Yeah.
or some people call it the Urus. But
Yeah.
and that thing is awesome. I got more room in that than I do my Escalade, right? But I really want a car, and Lamborghinis are smaller. I don't know why, but they got less room. So I may have to get the hookup. You know.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
You're going to have to make sure I get the deal. Tell them I need the biggest Ferrari they got, but on the low, you know.
Yeah, we have we're the third largest of the Ferrari dealerships in the United States.
Isn't that awesome? In
And
Greensboro.
the oldest one, yeah.
Oh, it's the
and-
oldest dealership?
Yeah, the third oldest one.
Third oldest one, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we have. I mean, everyone knows that Ferraris are built per order.
Right.
But we do have some up there that come through, or trade-ins and everything. And I was like, oh, there's one up there I like, you know, and it's just like, okay. Yeah,
You got the Matchbox car to match it?
not that one.
Start looking.
I know.
That'd be a success story. Your Matchbox car in front of the blurred out car in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Matchbox goes blurry, and the car in the back comes to light, and it's yours
In my garage.
in your garage.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, I'll make that happen.
I like it. I know you will.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've made it a factor, or very important, to have a vision board
Oh yeah.
that's in my office, and I look back at it every day, and just to see the goals that I set, to say, okay, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get here. I even have it set where weekly goals, daily goals.
Yeah.
And I had to take it a step further, to where I said, well, we're getting a lot of calls in, so I wound up hiring another full-timer. And I said, okay, I'll take the financial hit right now, get this other full-timer, and since I've made that step, I'm above what I wanted to be
Right.
on a daily goal.
Yeah.
And that was off of a 5-day work week. But now
Right.
we're at 6 now, and still hitting that goal.